I call to order this regular meeting of the USD 417 Board of Education. The first item on our agenda is an executive session for superintendent search.
To do introductions.
No.
Okay. Madam President, I move we go into executive session to discuss potential candidates for employment with the board, Dr. Hart, and the ability to recall Amber Weeks as needed, board clerk, pursuant to the non-elected personnel exception under COMA, and the open meeting will resume in the boardroom in 60 minutes.
Can I get a second, please? It's been moved by Jamie, seconded by Kelsey, that we go into executive session for superintendent search pursuant to COMA while we discuss non-elected personnel for 60 minutes with Dr. Hart and Amber Weeks as needed. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I'm gonna ask Terry.
Thank you, Nancy. Yeah. Terry, can you just give us a verbal yay, nay?
Yay.
Thank you, since we can't see you. All right, can we go ahead and pause the recording, please?
No.
Thank you, everyone, for your patience this evening. I will call back to order our regular meeting. The first thing we'd like to start with this evening is our empty chair philosophy. Mrs. Meyer.
You'll notice an empty chair in the middle of the boardroom. I asked you to picture a student in our district, whether it be one in the classroom, on the stage, or on the court or field, that is represented by the empty chair. We are here for students, and all decisions should be made keeping students at the forefront of all those decisions. As the best schools make decisions based on the needs and interests of their students, not the habits and traditions of the adults, I ask you to keep that student in your mind while making decisions to ensure the best interest of our students by providing a safe learning environment that is relevant and rigorous to prepare them for post-secondary endeavors.
Thank you. Next is our additions and our approval of the agenda. We do have some amendments to the consent agenda. So I'm going to read through the entire agenda so that everyone has an opportunity to make notes. Comments from our patrons, approval of the monthly bills and the financials in the amount of $780,729.75. Approval of the consent agenda, approve the minutes of the previous meeting, January 11th, 2024 and January 18th, 2024. Financial reports and pay bills, donations and gifts. The December 2023 KSB policies and forms featuring EBBD, EE, GARIA, GARID, and JBH. We will be excluding JDDAA and JGFGBA. Under personnel, this is where we have some additions. Under employment, Charles Jarvis as our activity and substitute driver. Taylor Johnson as our Council Grove Junior Senior High School foreign language teacher. Keely Reddick as our high school assistant track coach. Under resignations, we have Emily Herencher as our Council Grove Elementary School 4th grade teacher and junior high girls basketball coach. Lene Johnson as our high school math teacher. Also additionally, Julie Cook as our Council Grove Elementary School 4th grade teacher. And Tina McGyver as our high school Scholars Bowl coach. Our transfer is Jolie Stantana Stewart from Council Grove Elementary School 3rd grade to Prairie Heights Elementary School 1st grade. Next, our administrative reports. Board member items. And then J, under our business items and reports, we do have an addition. We have our welding booths for the Council Grove Junior Senior High School. Early release from our lease agreement. To present the December 2023 KESB policies and forms, which would be the changes to JDDAA and JGFGBA, the 2024-2025 school calendar, our RFPs, the Flint Hills Special Education Cooperative Articles of Agreement, and then an addition here to approve the laptops for technology teachers' laptops valued up to $120,000 will be an additional item there. Then an executive session for personnel, the Counts Grove Elementary School principal, administrator contract renewal, and then executive sessions as needed for student information and personnel. So at this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Madam President, I move we approve the agenda as presented with the amended additions.
And a second.
Second.
Moved by Jamie, seconded by Patty to approve the agenda with the additions. Any further discussion? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Do we have any comments from the patron?
We do not.
Okay. Moving on to item F, approval of the monthly bills and financials in the amount of $780,729.75. A motion
Make a motion. We approve.
and a second. Been moved by Dr. Alderman, seconded by Kelsey, to approve the monthly bills and financials in the amount of $780,729.75. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The next item is approval of the consent agenda, which I just read through with the two additional resignations. So at this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended.
Madam President, I move to approve the consent agenda as amended.
And a second, Jamie. Moved by Kelsey, seconded by Jamie to approve the consent agenda as amended. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. That gets us down to administrative reports. Mrs. Honus, anything to add? No. Thank you. Chris? No. Jay from the junior senior high school? Val? All right. Mrs. Meyer?
I'm pretty good.
Sorry, it's been a long evening already.
It has been. I want to, the main thing I think I want to do is recognize the administrators from the junior and senior high for this past month. It's just been very chaotic, and all the events that we've had here and away, it takes a lot of man hours to supervise. When they can't be there, our policy or procedure is basically to ask another teacher or something to be the person in charge at an away game or even here. For example, if we're hosting something here and like a wrestling tournament, we have a basketball game away, we always have somebody that has a second car that is responsible to help the coaches out if they need an extra hand. So thank you for them and their hard work. Then all the cancellations we had and rescheduling, Matt Fox and Mr. Dornbus have done a great job of trying to get everything scheduled back in. I think we're working about every night of the week and want to appreciate their hard work. So Mr. Dornbus, if you tell Mr. Fox, we appreciate all of his efforts put into this. That's about it for right now.
Well, and I'd just like to thank everyone as a whole. We had a lot of late starts. We had school schedules shuffled around, buses shuffled around, all on late notice, and everyone has done a really great job of making sure our kids are getting their needs taken care of. So thank you to all of you for the work that you've done during that process. Board member items. Anyone have anything? Okay, then we'll jump right into our business items. Mr. Dornbus, I think the welding booth at Council Grove Junior Senior High School is in your lap today.
Yeah, hopefully everybody got a chance to see the pictures of what we have. We're proposing really, and our entire shop area, we've been trying to make improvements. We did some work just painting and stuff last year, but the welding booth, it's really a safety issue. That they're out of date, they're old, and so what we're proposing is purchasing 6 welding booths, and what they'll be, the welding booth will actually kind of be like an individual room for each welding station, to where there's an observation window where a teacher or other students can stand and observe in without being in the actual welding area. We'd like to get the add-on that has a curtain that comes across that, so that basically an individual student can be in there privately welding or with the teacher in with them, but it's, right now, if you saw the pictures, there's not much for safety. Taylor does a great job, but we need to upgrade that. And later on, not right now, we're working on bids, but we need to do something with the flooring in there, but getting welding stations would be a big improvement. So I think 6 stations, I think the quote that we sent is around $13,000, and that's with, this would actually be a class project as well. We're not going to have a company come out and install them. Mr. Green would like to have the ag shop kids actually work to install them.
Great. Any questions for Mr. Dornbus?
So you wouldn't do the floor first, then? You wouldn't have the floor epoxied and then put the welding booths on there? You'd probably put the booths together and then have to take them out and then...
So, right, what we've ran into is on the floor, yes, that was the original plan. And that's still, it may be that we purchase them now and then it's, we install them once we get a flooring situation figured out. What we found out on the flooring is, we thought it was as simple as, just the regular type of epoxy floors we've been putting in hallways. But with welding, it has to be able to withstand different things. And so right now we're getting quotes, and we're finding out the type of material you need. It's going to be an expensive fix, but we need to do it right, and we need to make sure we have the right materials. So the plan was yes, we're going to see. But we think these actually, they're not going to sit necessarily right on the floor. They're going to attach to the wall. So there's a way we may not have to wait. So, but yes, the flooring does need replacement.
And wouldn't we put mats under them also?
We can, so that's an option. We can, but with the flooring that is being proposed, you would not have to. So we're still getting options on the floor.
The flooring, it's a process because there's cracks and it has to be patched and sanded
Right.
and prepped and all that stuff.
The flooring, if you've ever been out there, and I tried to taking a picture doesn't really do it justice. It's been gouged and pitted and even where I tried to take a picture around the drain cover, that's going to be a process right there. But actually, the nice thing is it'll go faster than the hallways from what we're hearing, just because we don't have to fill up any tile. There's no paint on the floor, but it's going to be the leveling process. Yeah.
Okay, any further questions for Mr. Dornbus? I would move that we purchase the welding booths for $13,053 from the proposal as presented.
My second.
It's been moved by Tina Ray, seconded by Jay to approve the welding booths in the amount of $13,053. Any further discussion?
Jay, I would tell you, since you asked about time, it's a 10 to 12 week lead time on just getting the welding booths here, so that'll give us some time.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The next item is the request from Emily Rencher to remove her from her lease agreement early. Mrs. Meyer, would you like to?
Yeah, I don't have any issue with this, you know, our contracts, she's actually done the middle of June with her responsibilities here. I would suggest that we let her out June 20th. I talked to Mr. Vandenberg, and he said that he would have plenty of time to have it ready to be rented again July 1st.
Any further questions, discussion? Sweet prorater for the month of June, or does that get her?
Well, she'd pay through June 20th, which would be 1 month less.
Madam President, I move that we approve to release Emily Rencher from her lease agreement 1 month early,
June
June 20th.
Second. It's been moved by Jamie, seconded by Patty, to allow Emily Rencher to be released from her lease agreement on June 20th, with the opportunity to have it available July 1 for the next tenant. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The next item are the KASB policy forms, the JDDAA and the JFGBA, that have the pieces that we would like specific for our district.
Right, this is self-administration of medication, and the wording that KSAB had given us did not jive with our handbook. So Mrs. Reddick has literally gone through it, and on the very first one, you see that's all in red. That's what was given us from KSAB. And if you now look at the second page, the wording's been changed to have proper authority from parents and a medical consent if they're self-administrating. And then JGFGBA is the same thing. It aligns with our student handbook on self-medication.
And these are just being presented to the board this evening for review. We will not take action on these. We want to give everyone an opportunity to read through those. And if you have any questions, to be able to reach out to Mrs. Reddick or Mrs. Meyer. These will show up again as an action item on our March agenda. So any questions, comments, discussion? Kelsey, any thoughts? Jamie? Okay. All right, moving on to the next item. That is the 2024-2025 school calendar. So our curriculum director, Mrs. Gare, will handle that for us.
So I printed off a hard copy for you. I just have a few notes that I wanted to share with you guys about it, because it's kind of complicated and it gets really confusing, and so these guys said they would hop in if I messed something up too. So. Let's see, starting in August, so our first contract day would be August 7th. In August, we try really hard to balance professional development with processing time, because it can be described as trying to drink out of a fire hydrant sometimes. It's a lot of information coming at one time. So we try to give some of that processing time for our staff. So that is why there are two work days in August. Per the negotiated agreement, we have to have one. We changed a couple years ago to feeling like 2 was more appropriate, to giving them time to work through what we're giving them during those professional development days. First day of school would be the 15th. Let's see, the data days is what we call at the end of each benchmark period. So we benchmark test in September and January, and then again in May. We just finished those. Those are times where we can use PD days to analyze the data, build the intervention groups. Those are very important days for us to actually have time to get into all that data that we just spent all of this time collecting. So those are the September 23rd and January 20th days. Those are why those PD days are in there. We also, per the negotiated agreement, give our staff time at the end of every grading period. They have to have time to wrap up grades. So the October 11th early release, that is because that is the end of a quarter. So our elementary teachers have time to finish their grades before they start another quarter. That's again, December 20th, the end of the quarter. So you'll see those October 11th, those yellow, October 11th, December 20th, March 7th, those are all the end of the quarters. And then when you flip to the end of the trimesters, we use those days, November 8th and February 14th, as full PD days, and we just make sure we allot time for the junior, senior high staff on those days to get their grading done. So I block out, we have one coming up on Friday, is the end of the tri. I block out 2 hours for them on that PD day to make sure they have that negotiated time to finish their grades. So it gets very complicated, as you can see, based on what's in our negotiated agreement. We have to have some of these days set in here. The newest thing to our calendar are our late starts, and I know you guys get a lot of feedback on those days, so I wanted to make sure we took a little time to talk about those and why we decided these days were important. The big reason for us in this district is our staff at our junior, senior high do not have time to collaborate and plan together, and everyone's talks about how important that time is, and if we try to do it at the end of the day, we have a lot of staff who are gone for activities or coaching or things like that, that it doesn't work. And then if before school, we're asking them to come in off contract time. So a late start for us is really helpful time to have our teachers collaborating together and using time to discuss specific needs for their students. We decided late starts last year mainly based on 2 reasons. One, to balance those early releases. So when you think about pre-K, they're only going half a day. So if we added more late or early dismissals, that afternoon pre-K would miss even that many more days. So we tried to balance for pre-K purposes, but also because when we have an early release, everything moves up. And so it doesn't help our situation with our coaches and our people who are doing different activities after those all get moved up in time as well. So those are the late starts on November 1st and January 27th. The one weird thing about this calendar, April 1st was a day we had planned to do a late start, and it had to get moved because we have an event at the junior, senior high. Mr. Dornbos, it's forensics, right?
It's the first time we have forensics back, which we're excited about having forensics back. When you have forensics in the league, for the league meet, we rotate that. So if there's 8 schools in the league, we would host forensics once every 8 years. But to do that, you need the classroom space and staff, and so we do an early release. And that's what pretty much every school does when they host forensics. So it's a good problem to have because it's good to have forensics back.
So instead of adding another, we took a late start out and to accommodate this day that we had to do an early release. So that's why it's off this year, and we have 4 early dismissals instead of 3 and 3. And we also got feedback from teachers and parents, and they talked about wanting more of a balance and when you look at days off. So obviously some of these things I talked about were negotiated. I can't change the end of a grading period or the end of the trimester. We have to balance those out. The late starts is one of those things that we could kind of tweak where we wanted them. So we talked about trying to balance in a month. What did it look like? What days were off? What days are we asking parents for childcare? So we tried to balance what was happening each month. So that's how we came up with November and January kind of seemed to be the best places for those and to fit our needs on when we need collaboration time. All right, what did I forget?
I just say that for us, the reason we have to do meetings right without the late start, we have to do it outside of contract time is because in a high school schedule, you can't schedule everybody. You can't have all the social studies teachers with the same plan period. You can't have all the math teachers. So it's been nice for our teachers because we did have to do everything off contract time to have collaboration time. And it's just, that's the problem with high school and junior high is the schedules just, for a teacher, the schedules aren't the same as they are for elementary.
I think I would just add that collaboration time, it's actually part of our feedback loop for DLT, BLT, and PLCs. And the elementary buildings get to have PLCs as teams regularly, and that's what the junior, senior high is missing, that part of the feedback loop that our district follows. So it's
We have
the
it, we
system.
have that feedback loop, it's just everything's off a contract.
That was really fast, but for time's sake, I was trying to keep it short. You guys have any questions, anything you would like further clarification on?
So this is a preliminary draft this evening, and we could approve this evening, but there may potentially be some changes to the calendar.
It seems like every year something comes up and we're like, oh, that's gonna require a calendar change. I think we made like 4 last year, so this is the first run of the calendar for next year. Depending on some different things going on with the state, enrollment can change, and if we make a change to that little square right there, it has to come back for approval. So, the first of hopefully no more.
So you're not wanting necessarily an approval tonight, you're just wanting us to be aware.
If we could
We need to approve
We have to
We may have
Yes.
to approve.
You're just letting us know we're gonna have to
Change
probably
one
approve more.
potentially.
Yeah, yes.
Got
It would be
And-
nice to have approval just so planning can start.
That's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
A lot of things hinge on, cause like I can't start scheduling PD with presenters until I know the days. And you'd be shocked if I gotta start calling like now.
Well, I think one other thing that maybe we didn't mention was we have a new staff orientation, which
Yes.
consists of 3 full calendar days before contract time. So we moved those back to the Thursday, Friday, and Monday before normal contract time starts.
It's on here, August.
And you can see it on there, but that gives them a day of rest before they come back with the rest of the staff. So we felt like as a team, that was a good start time for any of our new staff members. So as soon as we start seeing resignations come in, we want to start filling those positions with the highest quality candidates we can, and we like to be able to communicate with them a possible start date.
Thank you for the explanation of the PD days, that was actually, I was gonna ask exactly that, so it's good for the public
And
to
for-
know and
yes.
understand.
The
Why?
reasons and the late starts.
Yeah. It's a lot, I know. I mean, we're parents, we understand it. It's a lot when we say, hey, there's no school today, but the teachers need it. To do the best, to be most successful with the time they have with students, they have to be prepared, so.
Madam President, I move to approve the calendar as presented.
I'll second.
It's been moved by Kelsey, seconded by Jamie to approve the USD 417, 2024, 2025 calendar as presented. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The next item on our agenda, we have 2 CDs with RFPs included in the packet. Mrs. Meyer.
Yes, we sent these out, we received proposals from Farmers and Growers, Emprise Bank, and Citizen State Bank. And do I need to say what their bid is?
Yes.
Okay, Citizen State Bank, for a 12-month period, bid an interest rate of 4.8%. Emprise Bank, for a 12-month period, an interest rate of 5.25, which is a 5.13% APY. And Farmers and Growers bid a 12-month time period interest rate of 5.25. So we have 2 that are bidding the same and 1 less. Our current CDs are with Farmers and Growers Bank currently.
Correct. And it's been denoted in your packet that monies available for reinvestment as a result of maturities may be reinvested with the financial institution holding such monies, provided the financial institution agrees to pay the same or higher rate as that offered by the highest proposal at the time of the request for the proposal for proposals were accepted. So essentially, to follow our policy, that means that we would accept each RFP at the 12-month time period for the 5.25% rate from farmers and drovers. Any questions?
Can I just move that?
That was so moved. It's been moved and seconded to approve the 2 RFPs for the 12-month CDs at the 5.25% interest rate being held with Farmers and Drovers Bank. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The next item is our Flint Hills Special Education Cooperative Articles of Agreement. Mrs. Meyer.
Okay, previously, the way that each school in the co-op, I think there's 7 schools, was being charged for services from the Emporia School District. So, their accountant was doing our salary, their HR was doing all the, human resources for all of the special education employees that come to our building, paras and teachers and our supervisor. But they were charging each school a flat rate. We go from as large as Emporia, Council Grove is the second largest, and we go all the way down to Madison, Hamilton, Chase County. So they were probably being charged a little more than they should have been. And the former agreement did not charge Emporia. It was just the other 6 schools. So we basically came up with a plan to take our full-time equivalency or our head count for each school district and divide up the office cost, which is about $150,000, and divide it out equally in a percentage. So Emporia was paying their share. And basically, our original fee was $18,500. And I think it lowered ours about $200 or $300. And the other schools dropped almost in half, the really small schools. And Emporia ended up paying their share. So the new articles are all about percentages, full-time equivalency, dividing up the cost more equally. And that's what the new ones are for.
So each year we approve our agreement with the Flint Hills Special Education Cooperative in the summer. This is just an approval to the amendment to Article 4, Section 1 on finance of the agreement as submitted. So this is just that one specific piece is all that we're approving at this time.
And this still has to go through the legal department at KSAB once we all have them signed and sent in.
And we'll approve this evening, and then Emporia's Board of Ed meeting is Wednesday. Emporia has to approve it as well. So each of the members of the co-op have to approve, and then the co-op itself has to approve, which is Emporia.
How to word it.
It's in the packet.
Oh,
I
great.
I move to approve the amendment to Article 4, Section 1 of the Flint Hills Special Education Cooperative Articles of Agreement document as submitted.
It's been moved by Jay, seconded by Kelsey to approve the amendment to Article 4, Section 1, finance of the Flint Hills Special Education Cooperative Articles of Agreement document as submitted. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We are now to the additional piece here, the business item for approval of the laptops up to $120,000. Mrs. Meyer.
Right, I gave each one of you a guesstimate estimate of the laptops that we're looking at. That total is about $105,000. So I may need some help here. every 4 years, we replace laptops. So ninth graders or new freshmen coming in all get brand new laptops, and they keep them throughout their time in high school. Fifth graders all get new laptops for 4 years. First graders all get new laptops for 4 years. And so these laptops that they get are classroom laptops that stay on a cart. Only the high school students are allowed to take their laptops home.
Junior high and high school.
Am I right?
Junior
Junior
high.
high.
Junior high can't take theirs home? Okay. And so the ones in the grade school, that we just refresh them with new ones and they stay with that grade and move through. There was one here on pre-K.
So we rotate, and because they get, after so long, we have to refresh, so every so often we add a pre-K class in and get them a new set. Pre-K, kindergarten, we rotate around and do a class each year.
And then we also have, he has,
Should be
old
staff.
staff computers, he has 23 on there. We're seeing some of our computers just die.
Amber?
And so what I'm asking you is to approve up to $120,000 for technology purchases. I think that we'll probably add to this as we go. We're gonna have some new teachers come in, we're not quite sure what the computers they're turning in, the people that are leaving will look like. And we're also gonna have to have shipping cost on top of this. So if your motion could be up to $120,000, we have budgeted at least $150,000 plus for new technology each year.
Any questions for Mrs. Meyer?
Who do you order these through?
Some technology company.
Depends on what, so the Chromebooks, we try to find the best deal. I think Asus is who we were looking through. The staff computers are Dell, and so he tries to order, I think, directly from Dell on some, but also this will be Colton's first order, so.
I was just gonna ask, have we had any other technology orders this year?
We have what?
Any other technology orders this year that we've had, or is this our first?
I think when we see any technology orders, they've been for repairs and parts that
Okay.
we've tried
So
to
we got
manage.
it, we got it in the budget,
Right.
Yeah, this is our one big order.
okay.
Well, kind of. There's also, so at the end of the year, we typically send out a survey to teachers to see if there's any classroom technology that needs replaced. So a good example of that is that everybody at the elementary level has the New Line interactive TVs, but not everybody at the high school has the New Line interactive TVs. A lot of them are still using pretty outdated projectors. So if they want one of those, they would put in requests for that. But if there's any other technology a teacher wants for their classroom other than their device, they can request that at the end of the year.
Okay.
Obviously, we don't have to approve all of that, but I would say that's probably another big tech order.
Okay. Good to know.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. When
I looked at this, I was questioning why the bigger Chromebooks were less expensive than the smaller Chromebooks. I don't know if you noticed that. And he explained to me that the current Chromebooks we have maybe aren't the best on the market. They don't move as quick, the resolution isn't as good, and we're trying to phase those out and buy the ones that are, the resolution's better. If you've ever looked on your student's Chromebook, it's not the best quality screen. So we're trying to kind of upgrade some of our tech, and that was why those were more expensive. The ninth graders, they need to have that size of screen for testing purposes, so we get them a bigger device.
Like ACT, PSAT, all of those they require a bigger screen.
Well, the ninth graders have like a 256 gigabyte SSD too, so it'll be more snappy and we can handle a lot more.
Any further questions? Then I would entertain a motion to approve the tech devices for replacement year in 2024, 2025, up to $120,000.
Madam President, I move that we approve the technology proposal replacement up to $120,000.
A second? Patty? It's been moved by Jamie, seconded by Patty, to approve the technology devices for replacement in the year 2024, 2025, up to $120,000. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is an executive session, and just so everyone is aware, there will be action taken after this. So we'll have to ask everyone to step out again, but.
Madam President, I move we go into executive session to discuss an individual employee's performance pursuant to non-elected personnel exception under COMA, and the open meeting will resume in the boardroom in 30 minutes with Mrs. Meyer and the board.
Second.
It's been moved by Jamie, seconded
that
by
long?
Kelsey. Yeah,
Okay.
for 30 minutes. Executive session to discuss an individual employee's performance pursuant to the non-elected personnel exemption under COMA for 30 minutes with Mrs. Meyer and the board. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Our time will start when the room clears. I want to move Jan into a waiting room. And then pause our recording. All right, we are going to come back into our regular session. We do want to make a note for the public and for everyone else concerned. We will not have a superintendent candidate in our district tomorrow. So regular schedule for everyone tomorrow, please. Thank you. We are still looking at the 14th, the 15th, and the 20th, and we will let you know if there's any changes to those, but there will not be a candidate here tomorrow. So I just wanted to clarify that for everyone. At this time, our vice president is going to recuse herself from the room. The next item on our business items and our reports is the position of the Council Grove Elementary School principal.
I move to approve the recommendation of Kelsey Bremer for CGES principal for the 2024-2025 school year.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve Kelsey Bremer with a one-year contract for the Council Grove Elementary School principal for the 2024-2025 school year. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I move to approve Tasha Green for the CGES assistant principal role for the 2024-2025 school year.
Second.
It's been moved by Kelsey, seconded by Jay, to approve the recommendation of Tasha Green for the Council Grove Elementary School assistant principal for the calendar year, one-year contract for the 2024-2025 school year. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Congratulations. The next item on our agenda are the administrator contract renewals.
Do you want Jamie back in?
No.
Okay.
What was this? The administrator contract renewals.
Go ahead.
Yep.
I move to approve Valerie Gear curriculum instruction and assessment role for the 2024-2026 school year.
The motion is to approve Valerie Gear as the curriculum instruction and assessment administrator contract for 2 years for the through the June 30th of the 2026 school year. Is there a second?
Oh, I need the money.
Moved by Kelsey, seconded by
We're gonna
Patty.
get it right. It's almost done.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Opposed, same signs. Motion carries.
I move to approve Jay Dornbos, CGJSHS principal for the contracted year 2024-2026.
There's a motion to approve Jay Dornbos as the Council Grove Junior Senior High School principal through June 30th of the 2026 school year, which is a 2-year contract. Is there a second?
I will second.
Jay? All right. Any further discussion? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you.
I move to
Go ahead.
approve Matt Fox, CGJSHS assistant principal, activities director for the contracted 2024-2026 school year.
The motion is to approve Matt Fox as the Council Grove Junior Senior High School assistant principal and athletic activities director through June 30th of 2026. Is there a second?
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve Matt Fox on a 2-year contract. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Pose same sign. Motion carries.
I move to approve Chris Delforge, Prairie Heights Elementary School principal for the contracted 2024-2026 school years.
The motion is to approve Chris Delforge as Prairie Heights Elementary School principal through June 30th of 2026. Is there a second?
I will second.
Patty? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Jamie can come back in now. Mrs. Meyer, any further executive sessions?
I don't think so. I think we have completed our work tonight.
Executive closed
I
out.
have one thing. Amber, you wanted to get a board picture. Did you decide what date you wanted to do that? So we can have forewarning.
So which days do you
Tonight.
prefer?
Not Mr.
Yeah.
And not where it's from.
Yeah, so you guys let me know if you want Wednesday, Thursday, or next Tuesday. I don't have a preference, because I don't care, my camera.
I just wanted to know what day.
Let's do can you guys get here a little bit early on Thursday, like 5 minutes early?
This Thursday.
Yeah, the 15th.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Soon die.
You don't have to, but if you want to.
What you're wearing is fine. We just need to let
Do we
Mr.
need-
Powell know, please.
Do we need to wear anything, or can I come in this for interviews?
You're fine. So, all right, again, just denoting that we will not have a superintendent candidate in the district tomorrow. We are aiming for the 14th, the 15th, and the 20th, and we'll keep everybody informed as that goes forward. With no further items to discuss, this meeting is adjourned.
Congratulations.